Let me show you a nice little optical illusion. Let's take the 10 of spades. If I just wave my hand over it, see how it starts to look like it vanishes. I'll place it right about there. Now obviously it only looks like that, but what I can also do is I can take it and pluck it straight out of the air, and that is the 10 of spades. That's a little, optical illusion. What's good, peeps? It's your boy, Eduard Todor. We did it, dude. We did it. 10K subs. Mad respect, much love to every single person that subbed to me, that views my videos, that sends me love. Yo, that's insane. That's an insane number. 10,000 people. If you put that in a room, that's a lot of people, man. That's a whole stadium. That's a lot of people. That's pretty crazy. So to celebrate, next video will be a Q&A. So type down your questions, whatever you need to do, down in the comments below, or hit me up on Twitter, or hit me up on Instagram, or hit me up on Facebook. Whichever way you want to send the question, that's fine with me. If I see it and I like it, I'll answer it. Alright, so tomorrow's video will be a Q&A. Might throw a bit of a vlog in there, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Someone requested a room tour at 10K, so I'll do that too. You guys will see behind the camera, which is kind of a bad thing because I never clean, like this side of the room is the cleanest part of the room every time. Okay, because that's the only part you see, so I don't bother cleaning the part behind the camera. But you guys will see everything, alright? So no more secrets. Eduard Todor exposed. But anyway, today's video reacting to Sankey. I actually have seen his video talking about his performance on Penn and Teller, because I've actually learned the trick that he did, but I didn't actually see the performance itself. All I saw was how I fool Penn and Teller, and then I think he teaches. I think it's that video where he teaches the trick itself. And I learned it. I'm not gonna perform it at the moment because I'm not I don't think I'm anywhere close to his level at that trick. So there's no point. There's no point in doing that. But anyway, let's react to his performance. I'm curious to see how he did. What the Penn and Teller's thoughts were on it. So let's get straight into it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. What a treat to be here. Good evening. My name is Sankey, and I've been lucky enough to be performing and creating magic for more than 30 years. And people often ask me, what are the influences behind the tricks? Where do I get my inspiration? And I get it from everywhere. But one thing that has inspired a lot of my illusions over the years is the real magic of fire. I love fire. I love the way it looks, love the way it smells, the way it tastes, maybe not so much. I learned that the hard way once. But fire can do so many really cool things. Here's a very simple example. We know that off the flame comes heat. And with heat, if I hold the pack over it, watch what happens. Just a little bit, a card will float right up out of the pack. Now, that's just a very simple example. Let's up the ante here. We're going to go from cards and cardboard to metal. And for this, I'm going to be using a stapler, or as we call it in Canada, a lethal weapon. Okay, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this in just a second. Now, how many people here, show of hands, how many people have ever seen, maybe in an old movie, a set table with a tablecloth and forks and knives and spoons and everything, and somebody yanks out the tablecloth and everything stays on? How many people? Yeah, of course. I'm going to try to do that now in a very kind of down-to-earth way. But instead of a tablecloth, I'm going to use a couple of cards. The cards I'm going to use are going to be the 7 of hearts, okay? And I'm going to use the Queen of clubs. I'm also going to use a dollar bill, all right? A dollar bill here. Now, I'm going to put the dollar bill between the two cards, and I'm going to do this very slowly because I know magicians have a way of moving very quickly, and it's suspicious. I want you to see the bill is truly between the two, okay? To make it now, of course, if I try to pull the dollar bill out from between the two, it'd be easy now. But if I take the stapler and put a staple between all three, now it's going to be a lot harder. Jonathan, would you come over for a second? And if you can come on my right side, please. I think you're going to find it a slightly better view. Thank you so much. Okay. I know the people at the back. They can see everything, but of course they can't see the staple. So I'm going to have you help me out here. Would you please feel the staple? Is that a real staple?
That is a real staple.
Okay, now watch. A little heat. This is, again, the magic of fire. Little heat, and I'm hoping I'll be able to take the bill and...
Interesting.
Wow.
Just like that. Now look, are there any tears?
There are no tears at all.
And are these two cards, look at this, are they truly, examine that, you can take it in your hands.
They are stapled together, they are complete.
Did he just pocket the dollar? He just pocketed the...
Let's take it a step further. I'm going to show you a card trick, but it's not a card trick. It looks like a card trick, but it's actually a public service announcement. It is. The announcement is very simple. It's simply this. Do not, when you're going to work out, always make sure you warm up before you work out. Now, do me a favor. Separate the two cards.
Pull them apart.
Pull them apart. This proves once again that they are
I need to work out more. Okay.
There we go. There, and I'm going to actually remove this staple as well, because I'm going to have the two cards for your entertainment pleasure. They're going to exercise together. Watch. Both cards, they go down, they touch their toes. Kind of weird, I know. I'm a Canadian, what can I say? They go back, they touch their heels. They bend it half, kind of going cross-eyed, I guess, Jonathan, you could say, and back this way. Now, notice, they're working out, but they forgot to warm up. So this is the risk of tearing muscles. Sometimes, even the risk, I don't like this part, of tearing ligaments. Now, my job as a magician, the way I see it, Jonathan, is to try to restore things, to put the pieces back together. So look, I'm gonna take a bunch of the pieces, and I'm gonna just heat them up, a little bit there. And in fact, I'm also gonna use some static electricity. Luckily, I've got enough hair on my arms like a baby gorilla. So what I can do is hopefully take the pieces, take about half in each hand, rub a little bit there, and we should see that now, yes, the cards are still scarred, and they're still hurt, but ladies and gentlemen, you can see both cards are now totally back together and completely examinable for you.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
I like how he takes the switches.
Thank you. Now, the last trick I'm going to do is a bit of a psychic connection between you and I.
Well, I felt it.
Okay, I know it didn't last very long. Sorry about that part. I know. But and I'm going to use something that's kind of unusual. Along with the cards, I'm actually going to also use, I got it down here. Sorry, where did I put that? Oh, here it is here. It's a sparkler.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if
Where did you just pull this out of before I touch it?
I know. So let's say somewhere in the back. We'll just leave it very generic like that.
You've got to get it through customs somehow, haven't you?
Yeah, nice. Don't even bring up the customs official, please. I'm going to have him take a peek at a card. Now, very important. A lot of magicians do this. I want you to notice two things. Number one is the cards are all different. I want you to see that they're all different, my cards. It's a lot easier if they're the same card. A lot less practice, believe me, it really is. Okay, so, look, I'm gonna spray out the cards.
Okay.
I want you to touch anyone you want.
Anyone?
Anyone, doesn't matter.
Okay, how about that one there?
Okay, now, I'm not even gonna remove the card from the pack. I'm gonna leave it sticking out of the middle of the pack, and we're not gonna take it out, but I'm gonna ask you to take a quick peek.
Okay.
A quick peek at the card. Remember, keep it in mind.
Okay, got it.
Will you remember it?
Yes.
The suit,
interesting.
the number, everything.
Yes, all of it.
Okay, all of it.
Remembered everything about that card.
Now watch, let's try this. I'm gonna take the sparkler. He's thinking of a card.
Yes.
They were all different. Here we go, there we go. I know you wanna sing happy birthday, right? You immediately wanna sing it. But let's see, I'm gonna try to find his card. I'm gonna take and stick it right through, oh, we're doing it. Yes, look. It's going through the middle of the deck, and I'm gonna try to see if I can pull his one, it's burning my fingers, it's right, like this, look. Burnt.
Ooh, that's cool.
Burnt right through every card, except for one card.
Okay, that's a cool way to do it. I like that.
The card was the Jack of Spades.
You're sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I found the Jack of Spades.
Wow.
That is cool, man. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
I like that.
you know how this goes, Jay? Penn and Todor are going to have a little chat. They're going to think about it. Am I right in thinking that some of the things we just saw you do aren't like your standard trick? They're things that you have invented?
Yeah, inventing is I mean, I love performing, but ever since I was a very young kid, inventing has been a big part of who I am. So, yeah, everything here is one of my original tricks. I'm not a big fan of sort of using other people's magic.
If you were to fool Penn and Todor, what does that do to your standing?
Well, it's super exciting. It's awesome. You go, well, I mean, these guys, yeah, they've seen it all, they've done it all, and they even have a show where, you know, they see so many magicians try. So if you can pull it off, frankly, I think it might be a bit of a fluke.
Okay. They have a consensus. Whether or not it's right, we'll now find out. Penn.
Well, you know, one of the things that magicians hardly ever bother doing, and it's to their detriment, is giving an overall theme. Just putting a candle in the middle of the table and saying this all has to do with fire is fabulous.
Yeah.
Already we love you. I think you know that we know Rising Card, although you adding the candle to it is really, really nice.
Yeah.
The staple thing of the bill between the cards, we saw a little bit of larceny at the beginning of this that helped you do that trick. I helped is maybe too weak a word, had you do that trick. But it was beautiful. I love the fact that you created it. One of the things I love the most is I love how you look when you show off the hair on your arms. You know what I'm talking about. I love that very much.
Is this a private moment that we should have
private, yes.
It's a nice pose, isn't it?
He's being very gentle.
You look very, very good when you pose like that.
Thanks.
It's very attractive, especially the way you held it out just like this. Remember that?
I try, brother.
Yeah, I remember that.
I
try. We have an idea that the Jedis were working with you on the final sparkler trick.
A little bit.
And I'm so happy
That's a good
that I can
one.
say
I like
this
that.
on TV, but I'm very happy, and maybe other people in your life are too, with the way you masked the gash. It was beautiful the way you masked the gash.
Whoa,
we loved
there's
the
a
whole
phrase.
routine. It was really, really wonderful.
Thank you.
We don't feel anything completely fooled us,
Right.
but boy, we loved you.
Thank you so
Wonderful
much.
job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so this is the part where he doesn't actually tell them he fooled
Let me
them.
just check. You're fairly confident that the things that Penn said, culminating in you masking a gash, he's all above board. He knows what you did.
Right.
And they busted you.
Yeah, my sense is that he's totally in the ballpark, and you know, we could be more articulate, more specific. But my sense is, if Penn and Teller feel they're in the ballpark, they're probably in the ballpark.
They're probably right there in the diamond. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's say thank you to Jay Sankey for
Interesting,
a great
okay.
performance.
Thank you.
But you did manage to fool them.
Thank you.
Jay
Thank you,
Sankey,
guys.
ladies and
Thank
gentlemen.
you.
Nice job.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
See, for me, if I was him, I don't think I could fool them and then not tell them I fooled them. I mean, you know what I mean? It's such a, like, if you come up with something that will fool Penn and Teller, you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna take full advantage of this shit. I ain't about it, like, you know what I mean? So basically, if you don't know much about this trick, his method was not what they said. Okay, he actually teaches the trick. It's the one with the tearing of the cards. He actually teaches that, like his version of it, and it's completely different than what they thought it was. Now, I think the thing is, he faked a different method when he went like this. You know, this action here, he was faking that he was using a different method than he actually did. So maybe he felt a little bit guilty of the fact that, you know, he tried to mislead them and he didn't say anything. Or maybe he just genuinely didn't want to tell them and he'd rather fool them and them not know about it. I don't know. I don't know why exactly. I mean, I remember watching the video and he kind of explained why. I'll put a link to it somewhere in the description. But he kind of explained why he didn't want to tell them. I think from memory. But I don't think I could. I don't think I could resist. You know, I'd be like, yeah, nah, you're completely wrong. You know? Yeah, I mean, I like the way he themed. They talked about the theme, and I agree with that. Like, I try a lot of my, you know, everything I do, I try to kind of have a theme for it. Now, if I'm doing like a short performance, you know, stream magic or whatever, it doesn't really matter. You throw a couple tricks together, and it's whatever. But if you're doing like a 30-minute show or like a big performance. You know, like I generally try to have a theme for my magic. So most of the time it's card cheating, and then I talk about the physical aspects of card cheating. So, you know, the different ways I would cheat, and I show them different ways I could cheat. And then I talk about the psychological aspects, and that's when I move into like my mental magic, mentalism type stuff. So I definitely like to use themes, and the fact that he used the theme with the fire, he used a very classic, very rudimentary trick with the rising card, but he used it in a context that actually worked, and it introduced the playing cards, right? Because if he just comes out and he's like, well, we have 2 playing cards, why do we have 2 playing cards, right? But if he brings in the pack, and then the cards rise, I don't know if both the cards rose out, or if it was just one, but whatever. Point is, the card rises out, now we introduce the playing cards, he can then take 2 cards and use them and staple them and do that stuff. So I think it was really cool that way. You know, it really motivated the fact, like you have to think, like, why is he using playing cards? Like, what's the point, right? Like, why is some dude just randomly on stage with some playing cards? And his reasoning is, well, look, you know, this is what happens when you put it next to fire and one card rises up, right? You know, my reasoning is, well, let me explain to you, in a card game, this is how they cheat, right? So I need playing cards. There's no other way to show that, you know? And so a lot of magicians talk about this, like motivating your props. And, you know, like, for example, I don't remember who was talking about this, but I remember reading somewhere that, you know, like, if sponge balls aren't, like, your thing, you have to think, well, maybe it's just the way you use them or the way you're motivating. Like, why would I have a sponge bowl? I wouldn't, right? But if I'm at a restaurant, there's napkins around, I might bunch up a napkin and use it as a sponge bowl, right? So you have to think. You have to like kind of come up with a way to, make your props and your routine work for what you're doing and where you are. Don't just randomly pull out like a set of linking rings and in the middle of nowhere, right? Like there's no, what the hell are you doing? So you have to, if you're talking about like, oh, I want to show you the history of magic, and this is a very classic trick they used to do back in the day, and then now you're showing the rings, well, then now it's a whole completely different thing because you're showing historical magic, right? So again, it just really depends about like, it really depends on what your act is and what you're doing. And I guess I'm talking to the magicians now, but this is a very good example. Like he's like, okay, why would I need cards for this? Okay, well, I need to demonstrate a concept based on fire, right? So he built this whole thing around fire, which is really cool. And I really liked the way he showed, like the final presentation of the sparkler going through the card, and it's still lit, right? So there's like this, and then he turns the card while it's still skewered onto the sparkler. That was really cool. Gave like a nice little finale moment. It was cool. I mean, I liked it. That's about it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe to my channel. I do these videos daily. Follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, Bebo, all those stuffs, mate. All the links are down below. Don't forget to ask a question for tomorrow's Q&A. I'll be answering all the best questions. Don't forget, you're either there or you're square. You feel me? As always, mad respect, much love, stay lit, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!